Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to my Facebook Live for Wednesday afternoons. Today, I'm going to share with you a very simple project made with the hand-penned suite of products. And I think that I'm going to share this particular bundle suite for a couple of weeks because it has a lot of potential, but we're going to start slow today. So let me switch cameras and we will, whoops, what am I doing here? Got to get in the right screen. I've had all kinds of fun issues today, so why not some more? Okay, let's change cameras here. Here we go. All right. So I have in front of you the stamp set from the hand-penned petal called hand-penned petals, and I have the die set. Today we are only going to use this one scalloped and stitched die, and I think in the next week or two we will explore these other. I haven't had much chance to play with them myself. I've been busy. Anyone that knows me, we have a big team event going on all week with the Treasure Stampers team, which I'm a part of. And so my creativity time has been a little compromised, but I want to play with this some more. But very delicate two-step stamping, but it also becomes layers. And so we're not going to get into the layers today. We are going to do just two-step stamping. Let me show you the pages on the out of the catalog. Here's some samples that they've made. So the dies will cut outlines. They will cut individual petals and leaves, letting you create all kinds of different layering. You can two-step stamp, you can color, you can do all kinds of wonderful things with this suite of products. Now, it also comes with some beautiful designer series paper, and we're going to use one of the papers today. So let me move this out of the way. I'll pull this die out because we're going to need it and share with you. It's a very, very simple card that we're making today. I have stamped across the flap rather than on the front of the envelope, and a really simple, elegant card, and it actually has no greetings on the front of it. But inside, and we're going to step this a little differently when we do the actual. I did a stamped off image and then the greeting, and the purple did not show up very well. So I think I will do that all in Memento Tuxedo Black when I do my demo for you. We have some crinkled seam binding ribbon, which comes in white in the catalog, and we're going to color that. And I have some purple, which is Highland Heather rhinestones, but we don't sell Highland Heather rhinestones. So before we do anything else, we're going to do our coloring so it has time to dry. So let me bring in a scrap paper so it doesn't make a big mess, and some rhinestones. So I've got a few on here that are already colored, but I will show you how I do that. So basically you take one of your Stampin' Blends and you just color it. It's that simple. There's a little hair on the end there, just like that. And you can let it dry, and then you can add more color. So if you want it a little more intense, so we'll color these ones that I've already done. And then we're just going to set it aside to dry until we're ready for them. Also, this crinkled seam binding can be colored to whatever color you want if you have blends in that color. Hello, Sherry. How are you today? I'm still having technical difficulties, but not as many as I had this morning. So when you want to color ribbon, just take your blends along the ribbon as much as you think you need. I'm hoping do a little bit more just to be on the safe side. All right. Oh my goodness, Boomer's crying outside. And I'm just going to set that aside to dry. Now the card should not really take us that long to put together. Oh, I hope I don't have to get up and deal with him. In our kit, I have, of course, an envelope. I have a 8.5 by 5.5 basic white base that's scored at 4 1/4. I'll just burnish that. Yes, very busy, and it doesn't wrap up. I am the last post on Saturday at 7 p.m. So it's a busy week. I have a piece of 5 1/4 by 4 inch of Highland Heather and 5 1/4 by 3.5 of the Designer Series paper. This is the paper that goes with the suite. It is absolutely beautiful. I have some Whisper basic white to stamp on, and I have a circle, scallop circle cut from Highland Heather, which is the largest scallop circle die in the layering circles that we have. And I have the other die here that we will cut out our image once we've stamped it. So let us start there, and then we can do all our cutting at once. Sorry, buddy, you're gonna have to wait. Once out, once in, once out, just like having children. Okay, so I have, this is the second largest floral image in the stamp set, and I am going to stamp that in Memento. This is larger, so I like to bring the ink to the stamp. So by that I mean I'm going to do this rather than this. And I'm just going to stamp that in the middle. And then I'm going to clean this stamp because we're going to use it twice more. Where is my cleaner? Here it is. I'm going to use it with Highland Heather. And while we have it out, we might as well stamp with it. So we're going to put it on our envelope across the flap using Highland Heather. And I also want to, on our scrap, stamp off so the image isn't quite as intense. So I'm just going to stamp once, and then I'm going to stamp across the envelope. So it gives you a much more subtle image. And then I'm going to do the same thing. Bigger stamp pad. This one I don't necessarily have to take the ink to it. Stamp off, and then I want it a light image on the inside of my card like that. I'm done with that. Okay, so to stamp this, I played a little bit. Maybe didn't do everything exactly as intended. So I have some Blushing Bride. We have a stamp here that is the petals. I think it goes that way. They're never intended to be precise for the shape, but close. Okay, so it doesn't fill the whole area, but most of it. And then I have some green here. So I played a little bit. I cheated because it didn't really quite suit. So I'm just doing a little bit on there. This actually fits this leaf, whoops, the other way, quite well. But it's a little small for some of the other leaves, but I think it still works to just kind of get the idea across. It's like a watercolor, it's not precise. So that works fairly well. And then we're going to do, so in the original card, I did this full strength. For the demonstration, I'm going to try it as stamped off, so it's not quite as intense. Scrap back. And then that should fit there. Oh yes, I love that much better than the total intenseness of that one there. See, we change things as we go along. Okay, so I think I have everything ready to bring the die machine in. And that was my point of getting this stamping done first. So I would only have to bring it in once. Okay. First thing we'll do is we're going to scallop the bottom edge of our cardstock and then of our paper, our designer series paper. Now, if at all possible, when you put this on here, if you can put it at a bit of an angle, can't always, it just helps to cut down on the warping. You can always bend it back. Where's my other plate? I got them. Oh, it's already there. They're both here. Try and get that on there even. Right. Oops. So you can see it's stitched and scalloped. Very pretty. And then we're going to do the same thing with our designer series paper. Trying to line those scallops up as best I can. Turn this on a bit of an angle. And it does, you can see it's a little bit warped. You just gently bend it back and it's as good as new. Okay. And then we have one more cut to make. So I'm going to use the largest smooth circle from the layering circle dies to cut out our floral image that we stamped. Now I can take these dies from this machine and get it out of the way. And we can start putting things together. So this is going to get laid and adhered flat to there, so we can start there. Bit of a paper fray there. Okay, so just got a little tiny scallop showing around the edge. And then we want to adhere this, and I want to leave a little bit of the purple above and then to show the scallop below. So about like that. And these are edge to edge, left on right. It's just top and bottom where we have the Highland Heather showing. Okay, now we're going to bring back our ribbon that now matches our cardstock because we colored it. And we're going to adhere that. And my old trick of this is going to be laid flat on the card base. So I'm going to add my adhesive on here. Find the middle of the designer series paper. Eyeballing, of course, it's not necessary to measure out. Carry it across as straight as you can. Bring in our card base. And what I want to do, because the scallop actually takes away a little more, I want the left and right and the top of the white, that distance to be as close to equal as possible. So we've got a little more white showing on the bottom. And one thing you could do if you wanted to is actually scallop the bottom of that, but I did not. And then we're going to adhere this using dimensionals. So 4 dimensionals for this big circle should work really well. And I want to put it on a bit of an angle. And then, oh yes, I have lots. So then I want to tie a bow out of the inked ribbon. It's a little stiffer when it's had the alcohol ink on it, but it does soften. That looks pretty good. Then we'll just trim the tails. Like that. And then I'm just going to attach it there with a glue dot. Okay, we're getting very close to being finished here. All right, so we colored some regular rhinestones with the Highland Heather blends, and now we're going to add 3 of those to our project. Whoops, as it runs away from me. So I'll put one down here. Always work in odd numbers. It gives you balance. Put one up here. And then I'm going to put one over on a white space on the paper, on the designer series paper. If I can pick it up, I will anyway. Okay, so we've got good white space right here, so it will show up. So there's our 3 jewels. Now, on the inside, I'm going to need my foam mat back. So on the original one, I had actually stamped the first greeting in Highland Heather, and it didn't show up very well. So I'm going to stamp both of the greetings in black. Get this going in the right way. The first part is anything is possible. And that shows up really well. And congratulations. And there we go. So I like that way better. Shows up much better. Perhaps if I'd have used Gorgeous Grape, which is a darker purple, that might have been okay. But I'm pretty happy with this card. So that's what I have for you today. I think next week we will revisit this suite and work a little bit more with the dies. Hope you enjoyed this segment. If you're part of my VIPs, I will be live tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. If you have seen anything here you would like to purchase, please shoot me an email or order through my online store and use the hostess code that is shown on your screen. And I said, next Wednesday, we will dive into this suite a little deeper. And tomorrow night, as promised, we are going to do the something more with the Simply Elegant, which I introduced to you last week with some personalized stationery. So thanks for watching me. I truly do appreciate it. Have an amazing rest of your day. And if you're a VIP, we'll see you tomorrow. And if you're not asked to join, I'd love to have you. Take care. Bye now.